things. Let's have a look at some of these stats here. The gold differences at 10 and things like this. Of course, Nongshim Red Force, not exactly a team that likes to start the game fast. But let's zoom in on the bottom side of the map. Dofdam versus Deft, the initial D, as the LCK liked to call them. Deft played like an absolute man possessed, or an alpaca possessed. Okay.
It's a completely different approach, though.
Hanwha, they're like, oh, well, Fate played some really good Azir yesterday. That was really rough for us to deal with in game 1.
It also enables Dofdam in the late game, and this is opting into some early game power discrepancy, where I think Peanut on the Trundle.
In they go immediately. Dofdam down to 200. They're trying to turn it around. The aftershocks working out for the supports, but Dofdam taking a lot of damage here.
So the lack of ignite is a
Kellen,
which is
not exactly the hook that he really wanted there, as he's going to have to flash over the wall. The exhaust was invested.
Peanut.
Yeah, Gori. Let's see whether he can just land an ultimate, how much damage they can actually get down as Emperor's Divide comes through, says goodbye Peanut, no flash required onto the Trundle. So, okay, Dofdam going to be able to avoid the Solar Flare, the majority of it anyway, as the hook is going to connect onto Deft. There's a Moonlight Vigil as well as Kellen well and truly in there. The play comes back, but Willer is here. The flash forward from Vista, and that's going to be first blood going over to Deft. Dofdam, nothing he can do about his support going down. Not going to be able to do anything with that pillar. As Kellen, going to get the flash out of Deft.
Negate the earlier bot side play that we saw come through.
Yeah. See how many more plates they can get. Looks like this next one's going down. There's the Solar Flare as Peanut's very low. He's going to have to take the Lantern.
Nongshim, I've been okay with a lot of the things that you feel like, but now I want to fight.
Yeah. Not going to find the Zenith blade. There's the Solar Flare as Vista gets over the wall and Deft just pops the Thresh. Teleport's now coming in as Willer's going to have to flash away. Heartbreaker there as well, as there's the ultimate from Rich. The team fighting on this guy still very good, as Vista will be taken down in the end. Dofdam going to claim that kill, as I believe it was just a 1-for-1, but the health bar's looking pretty good. Oh, I say that. Until Deft lands a piercing arrow, and that is going to mean that Nongshim now on the back foot just a little bit. Willer at 50%.
Yeah. Like, he was in a position where I think he thought maybe we'll be fine. As Aftershock as well, but look at what happens to this health bar, right? Aftershock times out, they go all in, and he basically gets blown up instantly. This teleport from Rich is incredibly big, because without this, I think they're in a really, really rough spot. It spreads out the fight, and I agree with you, I think you're fine. You're feeling okay here. Just sitting around and waiting. I'm loving this flank, though. This is exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, Deft in so much trouble. He does have his flash available, going to get over the wall, but the Gravitum stun comes through. But created enough distance. Willer's also going to have to flash. Decides not to use the ultimate to land either, as that's a teleport, an aggressive one as well, as Willer heads into the mist and Rich just gets out of there. Kellen going to get slowed down by the Solar Flare as Morgan looks for it, finds the stun with the hook shot. Kellen goes golden. A 4-man Moonlight Vigil, though, is going to do a lot of damage as Rich ulties, but doesn't really find too much. Morgan goes into his stopwatch, and it's 2 kills now for Hanwha Life Esports, who are now looking to turn it. There's the Heartbreaker onto Peanut, who's trying to run this one out. Vista falls down, but the resets are coming through, and Dofdam trying to hold on to this one. Flashes over the wall, but Deft finds him with the hail of arrows, and Rich now, the last man standing. There's no Drake to take, but how about a Baron or some turrets here? Hanwha Life Esports.
Just a big break in this game.
This game is certainly wide open. Let's have a look at this one more time. Like you said, it was a very optimistic teleport, an immediate flash from Rich.
And the immediate flash is so important, because I think that this is still salvageable. Imagine if you have the flash, you see this ultimate from Dofdam, you see these health bars, and if Rich can actually get on top of that backline, Gori might live here, or at the very least he'll take someone with him. Instead, the flank from Morgan buys so much time. Immediately every ultimate gets used just in an attempt to make sure that he doesn't get too much done, and then it is just the cleanup. It's going to be the soul, or at least a very good position to try and get themselves a soul as well. And
oh no, Rich goes for the face check. Slicing Maelstrom does come through. There's the Zhonya's at the same time. Nongshim, can they get here though to save their Ken? And the answer's no, as Vista moves on forward. He's looking for Peanut, who has no flash, no escape. Deft grabs his 6th of the game, and Hanwha will be able to collect themselves the Cloud Soul as well to augment the Baron that they already have. No smite, no chance of a steal.
Starting to feel more and more desperate. You're talking about things like an Elder steal out of nowhere, and if Hanwha play it well, that should never be a risk, as here you see Willer and Morgan on the prowl, looking for someone on the side. And even with the game state, like in terms of gold, it's actually pretty close. Pillar or Rich, they're fine.
Do you know what is really, really scary about this? Chovy straight up whiffed his ultimate, as I'm gonna have to hold that thought. Explosion, and goodbye Leona. As Kellen in a bit of trouble as well. Hanwha seeing whether they can put them in a position that they want them. Deft almost by himself taking down Kellen as he has absolutely zero mana and now is walking into the pillar. The rest of Hanwha moving on over. Immediate flash there from Deft as they were buying space for Chovy to come through, and now he's going to be the one that sweeps everyone up. Willa decides he wants to be an AD carry, and that baiting was just magnificent from this Varus.
All planned, Atlas.
What the heck, man?
As Deft working very hard to keep his perfect KDA here, and surely that's going to be the end. 20 seconds still left on the Baron buff, but look at the Deft timers, and I thought maybe Deft dies, but then they still turn the fight. He doesn't even go down.
It's exactly like what he said after that Baron fight. He's like, well, I have my flash available. I'm the one that needs to make the play. Well, he did it. He made the last play, and the Nexus is going to follow suit. Hanwha upgrading their performance from yesterday with a Game 1 victory. They still need to win the rest of them. It's a best of 5, and Nongshim will be able to go back and try and change up their game plan, potentially moving into Game 2.
Come on, Atlas. You saw that. You saw that lethality,
okay, well, you're going to
Varus.
have to spend the break repenting, my friend. As Deft with 20k damage, double that of what Dr. Arm offered. The Ophelio is never quite able to get in range.
나 쫓기겠어. 지금 출발할게. 나 펠도 있어. 앞에 좀 봐도 되나?
앞에 와줘. 신다 높을.
나가. 캐는 뭐다.
이거 지금 한명 봐줘. 신다 높을.
힘들어.
나이스.
나이스. 미드 가자.
캐는 돈이 아직 안 쏠 것 같거든.
괜찮아. 끝내.
너 그냥 머리 박아.
라인이랑 같이 박을게. 천천히.
캐는 높.
박아야 돼.
캐는 높이야. 나이스.
끝내자. 천천히 끝내자.
아니 이걸 불러와 나.
너 시레시 10초.
나를.
태웠어.
위에 거부터.
나이스. 3초.
잘했다. 나이스.
다음 판. 파이팅. 나이스.
나이스.